Welcome to the Getting Started section of this course. The items in the Getting Started section will need to be completed before the actual Module 1 will open for you. So let's get started. By the end of this course, I want you to feel like you've walked in the footsteps of a person who has dyslexia or a reading disability. So along the way throughout the modules, you'll be collecting footprints where you'll use the information that you learned to be able to gather these footprints that you'll use in a final project. The final project to culminate this course will be for you to create a product that you can share with others, the information that you've gained through this course. So I want it to be meaningful, and I want it to be something that you'll actually use to share the information with people who are in your circle of influence. So some examples might be that you could create a PowerPoint or a presentation for use in a staff development. Maybe it could be a letter that you would create to share the information with parents. Or maybe it's a flip book that you want to use for students. And I want it to be a product that you will actually use to share the information. So be thinking about that as you're going through. That's kind of where we're headed. So this course is organized along the International Dyslexia Association's Learning Standards for Teachers of Reading. That document can be found in the resource section, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. But just so that you know, the modules themselves are organized along those learning standards. Now, there's a lot of information that is in there that we just won't have enough time to get in depth about, but I at least want you to have some introduction to each of those, to be able to have resources so that you can know where to go to learn more. And then hopefully throughout other courses we'll be able to dive deeper into each of those topics. So the first thing in your Getting Started section would be to read the course welcome. And then also please read the course syllabus that's found in your resource section, so that you can get the details of how the course is laid out, and it'll give you some more information to flesh out the welcome message. Also, please look at the resource section for the standards that I referred to, the International Dyslexia Association Standards for Teachers of Reading. Now, I don't expect you to memorize that document. I don't really need you to read it with great depth, but what I want you to know is that it exists, and I want you to be able to think about, as you're reading it, what's different about those standards than the standards that you're currently using in your teaching. I also would like you to become familiar with Canvas. Take some time to learn the workings of that. I'm not sure if you've taken an online course with the University of St. Francis before, or if it's been a while. You'll want to take some time just to be able to understand the workings of Canvas, which is where our course is found. Also, please set your profile and notifications preferences so that we'll be able to communicate effectively with each other. Another item is to watch the instructor introduction, and then you'll also be creating your own introduction to share with us. In that introduction, I'd like you to include where you're from, what you do, and what prompted you to take this course. You'll also be welcoming at least 2 other students by responding to their introduction posts. So give us some information also on just things to get to know you, not just professionally, but things that you think will help us to get to know you as an individual. You'll also be then diving into our first discussion. So that discussion is going to include the topics of what do you currently know about dyslexia, what do you want to find out about dyslexia and reading disabilities, and then also please think about what you believe others need to know about dyslexia and reading disabilities. And by others, I'm talking about, it could be staff at your school, it could be parents, it might be students themselves, it might be the general public, but please think about what people that are in your circle that you work with, what do they need to know about dyslexia? So then finally, you'll be participating in a dyslexia simulation, and I want to get your thoughts on how you feel after completing that exercise. So you're already gathering some footprints. For example, when you look at the International Dyslexia Association Learning Standards for Teachers of Reading, and you think about how that compares with what you're currently operating with and what you're currently using to teach, that could be a footprint. when you are thinking about what others need to know about dyslexia, that's already kind of getting you started thinking about who your audience will be for your final project and what it is you think that you want to include in that project, in your final product. So that's in the Getting Started section, and I'll look forward to seeing you back in Module 1.